All right, welcome everyone to the North and South League of Legends 5v5 tournament presented by GCI. My name is Zethy, and I am here with Sergeant Facebreaker. This event is hosted by the UAA Esports Lounge and the USF Esports at the University of South Florida. The UAA Esports Lounge would like to thank their sponsors, the Alaska Army National Guard and Resource Data, for supporting the facility. We would also like to thank today's tournament sponsor, GCI. All matches today will be played best of one. We will advance through the first 3 rounds of the winner's bracket. Tomorrow we will resume with the best of 3 series in the winner's finals, loser's finals, and grand finals.
We have players on the opposite side of the country here today to compete in the tournament. We today will speak and bring things up, make things exciting, and bring players from 3,000 miles apart, especially in the midst of a smoky haze entering the AK from Siberian storm warnings of Hurricane Isaias on the east coast of Florida. In just a few minutes, we'll be getting started with our first matches.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We are getting the custom match set up right now. We will be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for waiting.
We must all make our choices.
All right, we're in here with our first band. We've got two teams up today. On the blue side, I believe we have Eloquent. And on the red side, I believe we've got Lolcat Nunchucks.
Great
We've
name.
already got our first, right? We've already got our first bands out of the way. Karma and Ari, not typical bands, so I'm assuming that these are probably target bands on somebody on the other team.
The Ari for sure. Maybe they could be banning for someone. Maybe they're planning the counter picks. Hopefully they don't pick up an Ari for someone specific.
Okay, Draven is a ban. Right on. I always love the pick and ban phase. Facebreaker, as like you can really kind of see what a team is trying to do with the comp and what their win strat could potentially be during this phase. And especially at higher levels of play, this actually can make or break the game for a team. So let's see how well these teams have done their research here in this pick ban phase.
Oh, for sure. It'll be a mixture between high priority picks and maybe they've done some research on each other. I'm not sure how much time they got for that, but I'm sure they OPGG'd a few names here.
For sure. And let's take a look at these some of these names. Oh man, Baby Powder, I love it.
Your eyes closed.
Volistair, ooh, Volibear, first pick out the gate. I'm imagining that's probably a Volibear jungle. Although I will admit I haven't played as much League since he has been remade.
Mm-hmm. He's actually really good right now. His turret diving potential level 6 is actually kind of insane, but it makes it for exciting gameplay.
Solid top lane pick. They've got some late game scaling on red side.
Yeah, Ornn especially is an extremely strong pick right now. He's a pick constantly in pro play.
Let's see what they pick up as their second. Nautilus, a good strong support pick. Although last season especially it did see some popularity in the mid lane.
Oh, yep, true. Overbuff some AP ratios, but glad that's in the past now.
Well, we'll find out today.
I believe Volley can be flex top too, so I wonder if they're trying to keep options open here. Ban the Fiddlesticks, that's a good ban. I believe they just nerfed his laning phase power, so they're definitely targeting a Fiddle jungle.
Oh, they've got the backline dive right there with the Malphite pickup.
Oh man, I love a good Malphite. Add some spice to the team fights for sure. Not strong laning, but it pays off later.
Well, if it's a Malphite top lane, Ornn's not a very huge bully early either, so they've got some time to just farm up and collect a couple of items before they really want to start going at it. Malphite probably, if that's the top lane, Malphite will probably be looking to gank a different lane, as a full-out burst on Ornn isn't likely if Ornn plays safe.
I like the Senna ban. Senna's a strong champ with just complete lane dominance, seems like.
And they flexed it to Mordekaiser last second. Wait, you think this is a mid lane Mordekaiser?
That'd be pretty spicy.
So we're not likely to see that Nautilus go mid lane. That is most likely a Nautilus support. Yasuo ban.
Let's see if they'll stay on these picks here. They're talking with their team, taking their time with the pick.
Aphelios. I guess that would make sense, especially if they've got a ADC Aphelios player. Nautilus and the amount of lockdown that they already have on the red team have the potential to set Aphelios up for easy team fights.
Yeah, they have the CC, they have the engage. They just need some potential carries here to carry this team through.
A little bit lacking in damage, although if Mordekaiser gets rolling, he will carry the game.
Very true.
Last two picks for blue team. Let's see, they still haven't picked their ADC. Lulu, nice safe support, especially into something like a Nautilus. Lulu can very easily disrupt that engage, just polymorph the Nautilus out of his opener, and the ADC hopefully gets to walk away.
That's the hope. And they
Here
banned
comes their ADC pick. Okay, there's Caitlyn. Nice, strong, solid lane.
Yep, nice safe ADC. This pick will decide a few things, because, okay. So, is it Mordekaiser
There's their
mid?
wave clear. It's a Mordekaiser mid lane, I believe.
Is it? They just.
So that's Ornn top, unless it's an Ornn mid lane.
I hope it is now. That's what I want it to be.
Let's see. Lulu. So on the blue team, we've got Malphite top lane, Volibear jungle, Lulu support, Caitlyn ADC, Lux mid. I'm assuming on the red side we've got Mordekaiser mid lane, Ornn top lane, Graves ADC, Sivir. Sorry, Graves jungle, Sivir ADC, Nautilus support.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
So let's take a look at these win conditions that we have here. For the blue team, it looks like they've got a lot of pick potential, and they're looking to not take big team fights that it looks like the red team wants to take. The red team has got a lot of crowd control, a lot of engage options, with especially with that Sivir ult into the Nautilus hook,
Yeah,
or even a long range engage with the Ornn ult with a Sivir ult to follow up and catch up.
yeah. Blue by far has much more bursty team fights. Red side definitely wants the sustaining team fights with the Mordekaiser, the two ADCs with Graves and Sivir, and of course the Ornn tank. He does percent damage and has fantastic engage, and Nautilus for all the lockdown. So quick team fights for blue side, long dragged out fights for the red side. But it may take time for the blue side to get anywhere near burst to take down people like Mordekaiser and Ornn. And Nautilus too. I mean, they're just a bunch of thick boys.
And the Mordekaiser itself poses a problem for the blue side. If Mordekaiser ults any of the blue side's engage out of the engage and just isolates them alone, the blue side all of a sudden doesn't have a very solid front line and can be picked off pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I don't see great answers for the Mordekaiser in a 1v1 situation either.
So let's take a look at the blue side's win condition. What do you think that the primary win condition for blue side would be?
I mean, they have dive potential with the Volibear for, early advantages, but like the win conditions, it's got to be, Malphite ult, of course, has to start things off. There's not a lot of great engages besides then. Got Volibear, but he's kind of questionable strong engage. He can chase people down and stun one person at a time. He can jump in the air and sit on people, but it's not quite that strong as a Malphite.
So I'm thinking that they're probably looking for an early to mid game advantage, and hopefully that's going to be enough to take care of the beginning of the later game when some of those other champions like Ornn, like Sivir, starts to get their items coming in and they start to become a problem. So if blue team really wants to press their team comp advantage, I would imagine to see a lot of aggressive early plays out of the blue team. And red team really just wants to stall it out, right? They want the team fights. They want the big engages. They want the long drawn out fights because they've got so many answers for the blue team. I imagine one of the things Caitlyn and maybe even Lux might want to rush pretty fast as a defensive item for that Mordekaiser for those team fights, a Zanya's for Lux or a Quicksilver Sash for Caitlyn to get them out of that realm and away from that monster.
Yeah, true. And hopefully, they'll have to play away from Mordekaiser for sure. Because the only person that could reliably take Mordekaiser down late game is probably going to be the Caitlyn. And that's their only answer for the mid-later game Mordekaiser.
So hopefully they've done their research. Hopefully they know what they're doing. Volibear jungle. Okay. It looks like we do have an Ornn top lane, although support is taken, or mid lane does sometimes take teleport. I would be very surprised to see the Ornn go mid lane with the rune setups that he's chosen.
Yeah, for sure. I like the Malphite with Comet. That's great poke. Bring us an Ornn who can sustain for seemingly ever. Will it be enough?
Little bit questioning. He's going to have to press that combat advantage early in the game before Ornn gets those defensive items or those health scaling items to basically ignore the combat damage, right?
Yeah. But they do have a strong early ganker with Volibear, so they might be able to press an early advantage.
Perfect, and we are in. Maybe.
Looks like we're just loading in here. Yeah, Lulu Airy, Caitlyn Fleet footwork.
Pretty typical rune choices for the rest of the teams.
Yeah, nice and safe. Which against the Nautilus, I mean, it's good as long as you don't get super hard engaged on. Graves doesn't have the greatest like ganking threat. He just does. He applied a lot of damage, which I suppose with the Nautilus support can be a good 1-2 punch.
We're getting that initial couple pings from Eloquent here on the blue team, getting that spread. I would be surprised to see an invade from the blue team, as the red team does have that initial advantage in the level 1 and 2 fights.
Yeah, the Nautilus hook is undoubtedly the strongest ability level 1 here. And it could serve... Yeah, they're playing safe. There's no reason to step up here.
Oh, we got a little bit of a face check here in the bush. Some free damage onto the Malphite.
Mm-hmm.
Should be early. Oh, maybe not.
Malphite
He is going to recall.
Keys for the speed buff to run away. Recall hopefully gets back. Oh yeah, he should have time.
He's just going to stay. Might have a little bit of a cheeky bush play. Okay, nope, they're just warding against the vision. Checking where that jungler started. Both junglers starting bottom side of the map, so we might look to see some pressure top for the first couple minutes of this game. Oh, it is an Ornn mid.
My man.
It's an interesting choice. I haven't seen that recently.
Yeah, he may not enjoy the beginning stage of this game, but eventually Lux will be able to kill him.
So then the comment from Malphite suddenly increases in value against that Mordekaiser in the top lane.
Oh, absolutely.
Mordekaiser's getting some free harass on the Malphite.
Mm-hmm. Didn't trade too well into him, but he has biscuits, corrupting pots. He could stay in lane for a long time.
Early flash from Juka in the bot lane on that Lulu. Although if he had not flashed, that definitely would have been a kill secured for Lolcat Nunchucks.
For sure. You had to take that flash. We have some trading with the mid lane. But it is an Ornn, not the greatest damage output. At least not yet anyway. His ult adds some flavor to it, but not quite there yet.
Lolcat Nunchucks just showing up in every lane, giving that Graves a lot of freedom on where to go. And kind of putting some pressure on Volley and where to gank first. And all three of his lanes are facing a little bit of pressure.
Mordekaiser bullying Malphite up top early, down 11 CS currently. Let's see if he could sustain the lane dominance. He has a big wave crashing, maybe he can catch up.
There's that Volibear and that Graves pathing top lane.
They both started bot side, they've made up top lane. Oh, looks like nothing happened.
Although, if you look at the jungle difference, right now, Graves has the full clear. He's got nothing to do. Volibear only cleared about half of his jungle. He left those bottom camps, so Graves is ahead in terms of gold experience.
Ooh, Sivir taking some damage down here.
A little bit of a trade down the bot lane. That is going to force Sivir back, though, as she is now too low. And she started with the Cull as the first item.
Yeah, safe pick. I don't think Lulu and Caitlyn really has much kill pressure down there. So it's just a
Okay.
good value pick.
First back Sivir picks up some boots and a long sword. CS number staying relatively the same across the board, except for in the top lane, which is to be expected when you have a bully like Mordekaiser in the top lane. You're going to lose some CS in the early stages of the game, especially something like a Malphite who doesn't have the greatest CSing to begin with.
No, of course not. And it's a melee matchup. It just does not play well with just such a strong laner. Let's be expected though. Maybe you could pick it up.
Good trade from the Ornn on the Lux. For free too. Got almost no return damage.
It looks like Ornn built a Negatron cloak, so Lux does not have much of a hope to kill him in lane.
No, not at all. And it looks like Red Side has that early Dragon dominance. They will pick up that early Infernal Dragon. Really solid moves from Baby Powder on that Graves.
Yeah,
and because of the bot lane prio that they had earlier, they were allowed to just kind of roam up and take it.
Good decision making on their part. Both junglers back, re-gearing for some more clears or ganks. Let's see what they do here.
Graves is starting to pull ahead the CS by quite a significant amount, actually. He is allowed to do so because of the early pressure that his laners put out. Basically, he just had to be there for the counter gank, which he was, so nothing happened to that top lane those first couple minutes. And now he's kind of just allowed to farm up while Volibear is forced to kind of respond to the pressure that the Malphite's getting top lane. This Mordekaiser might actually straight up just 1v2 them.
Yeah, he oh, the Malphite almost. Oh no. Well, the red side played that pretty well. They almost turned it back on them with the Malphite ult, but could not secure it. And that was
kind
great.
of an ambitious gank. Oh, Nautilus missed the hook. They trade some damage back. Nice trade from the bot lane.
Graves with 2 kills. That is a strong jungler to have 2 kills on this early.
Yeah, so we talked about some of the win conditions earlier for blue side. Eloquent was looking to get some early pressure on with those picks, and so far that's not been super successful. Everybody is kind of farming up safely and is actually pretty universally ahead in farm over their opponents for the Lolcat Nunchucks.
Oh yeah, looks like mid and bot are starting to slip now too. But mid's still fairly even.
Oh, and the Nautilus hit the hook.
Good fighting on both parts, both trading. Kaelin's still almost at full health.
Despite being technically down in gold for this lane. Ooh, we got a cheeky invade there from Eskimo Omni. He's managed to seal away Graves' blue. I believe that's actually a retaliation on his own blue. Looks like his blue is gone.
It's a good time to do that. He had backup with his support and mid laner. They were in range just in case if Graves found him when he decided to collapse. Good move on their part. The gold lead right now is about 3k in red side's favor for Lolcat Nunchucks.
What a great name. Lolcat Nunchucks.
It is.
Mordekaiser continuing to dominate that top lane pretty handily. Oh. Sivir flash. Alright, Graves flash. Sivir ult. Oh, the hook connects, and that is a kill for Lolcat Nunchucks. Picked up by Sivir. That's ideal if you're Lolcat Nunchucks. That's not so ideal if you are Eloquent. Looking for some of that early pressure there. going to be very sad here in the team fight phase when
Wildcat
Wildcat
Nunchucks
Nunchucks
saw the
wants
great
to-
opportunity. Lulu stepped up too far, and they capitalized perfectly. Burned some ults, but it's still very early. Not a whole lot's happening right now.
Actually, I believe the timing of that is pretty ideal. I believe we've got Dragon coming up soon. Not quite. About 40 seconds before the next Dragon.
Bullets heading top. Mordekaiser just pushed in really hard, but they have a ward. Let's see if they will do anything topside. Looks like Volley was looking, but now he is deterred.
Okay. Ooh, there's another kill picked up by
Ooh,
Baby Powder on that Graves.
great gank, almost got away. Great vault, just a bit.
This is a little bit of a precarious situation if you're that Holy Bear. Yep, that's another kill picked up, and the Dragon will go over to Lolcat Nunchucks.
Little they can do. Blue side.
Yeah, unfortunately, the jungler for Eloquent should have just let that one go. He was getting collapsed on by both top or mid and bottom lane when he decided to try to contest that. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there on the side of Eloquent. Ooh, and the hook from the Nautilus connects.
All damage isn't quite there. The Sivir does have sort of low health, so she does have to be careful.
Lulu does manage to trade back fairly well for the trades that they have been having in the bot side. Oh, the aggressive flash, the defensive ult from Lulu. And the kill gets picked up for Lolcat Nunchucks. Sivir escapes with barely any health. Oh man, there's so many things happening across the map here. The Malphite did blow flash in the top lane, and they did manage to pick up a kill in the mid lane on that Lux.
Great gank mid. But they're dropping Rift
That's
Herald.
going to be first tower in the top lane, and probably also a tower in the mid lane. Not really anything that Malphite can do in that situation. Just chooses to give that one up. I believe that was the right call there.
For sure, there's no reason to give him free kills here.
That is quite a bit of pressure still on the top side. He can't leave that tower. Ooh, the Volley Bear does manage to catch the Graves out. Let's see if he manages to secure the kill here. He does have Lulu's backup, and he is out. Graves is safe under the tower, especially with that teleport from his mid laner coming in to make
Phase
sure
rush on the
he stays
Graves
safe.
gives him the speed to escape. A little scrappiness going on the top side. But Malphite does not want to continue that, as Mordekaiser wins that in time for sure.
Good trading happening back from the Lulu. Trying to let her ADC have some space to just clear up that CS and catch up a little bit.
Looks like Mordekaiser backed and bought a Leandra's Torment, which is a very good item for him. Very strong.
I believe that was an accidental dodge on the Lulu's part. I believe she was blinded by Graves when she actually stepped forward, avoiding the Nautilus hook.
Let's see if Red Side can throw around their gold advantage and do some dives here.
Looks
like
getting
Red
some
Side
good
back.
skill shots onto that Ornn. However, Ornn has too much magic resist at this point in the game for Lux to have a hope of killing him with just a few skill shots.
Yeah, the Abyssal Mask is a very good item. Simple rush into that, and Lux doesn't have much of a chance. In the 1v1 anyway. Looks like there's a steadily increase in the gold deficit, favoring Lolcat Nunchucks.
And a lot of that gold difference is actually going to be focused in the jungle. Graves is 4-0 with almost a 50 CS lead over his opponent. Although pretty much every lane has got a sizable margin over their lane opponents at this point.
I've only tried to give Malphite a hand here and fight the Mordekaiser, but he shrugs it off, no problem.
Not deterred by very much at this point in the game. And if Mordekaiser ever did get in trouble, he has his ult available. He's got all of his cooldowns. Ooh, hold on, coming back to that. That Graves just popped that Caitlyn like a balloon.
Yep, going back to how strong Graves is, the 5 kills. It looks like they're going all in on the
Forced
Orin.
to flash out of Orin. Ooh, nice double knockup from the Orin though. Should be enough to keep it safe.
Graves
He is coming back in. His jungler was right there, and that's another 2 kills for Lolcat Nunchucks.
Oh, great rotation, great teamwork by them. Setting it up, Orin staying in the fight, keeping the hopes alive to turn it.
Unfortunately, that's not going to translate into a tower quite yet, although this next wave should be enough to secure it. Unless Malphite teleports in here. Actually, I don't know if a Malphite teleport would be enough even. They're just going to have to give this mid tower up.
Yep.
Dragon is back up. Looks like Lolcat Nunchucks is ready for that. They're already on their way there as Sivir starts the Dragon.
The double demolish on Mordekaiser Orin make that turret very quick work. They simply knock it down and continue on their way.
Lulu trying to get some sort of control back in their own jungle. Unfortunately, their areas that they control is getting rapidly smaller, and it's going to be a little bit scary to be in Eloquent's shoes right now for anybody on the team. As stepping too far from your turret likely means death. Oh, you got a Malphite all over the wall with a...
Oh, but the Leandre's burn finishes him off. He tried to escape. But he did get the Mordekaiser flash.
That does buy a little bit of safety, at least for one of his characters or carries later on, if they do team fight.
A 10k gold lead at 17 minutes. That is a very strong lead. Let's see if they can start working on maybe closing this game out, going for big objectives. Baron's up in 3 minutes, and maybe they'll quickly rush that to try to finish
They have
off.
rotated their mid lane to the bot lane to just try to hold that tower, allowing Sivir some time to push up. Sivir, of course, being very good at the wave clear, will probably pressure that mid lane quite quickly. Nice skill shot from Lux on the Mordekaiser. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough. That Mordekaiser is very scary. Oh, he manages to still pick up the kill on the Lux. He's kiting them out for right now. He's got his jungler on the way. Manages to body block. Oh, and the Lulu comes in from behind, picks up the kill.
Oh, Secret Agent Lulu on the job. Sneaking in there, igniting, walking away.
Drive-by. Best kind of drive-by by the support. Shout out to support players everywhere.
We're getting the rift before the Baron pops up. This will add a crazy amount of pressure to the map.
And this is actually the second rift of the game, so they managed to secure that first one. They are ready to pressure that second one. That Dragon is coming up here in about 3 minutes. And Lolcat Nunchucks groups up mid. Looks like they're gonna use that. Not quite. Ooh, the face check into the jungle and support. That is a very fed Graves though, and he doesn't look like he really cares that much.
He's very strong. Lots of survivability with the red smite as well.
And they just clean up that team fight very easily. Oh, the Lux does get one return kill. There's one consolation prize, but 4 members from Lolcat Nunchucks are up. They have the Rift Herald. They are definitely getting at least 2 or 3 towers, maybe even 4.
Good team fight on their part. They do have a gold lead, so maybe the fighting was a bit in their favor, but they only lost 1 member in a 4v5, I believe. They just went and they just cleaned up. Did a good job. Graves dropping Rift bot side, tanking turret.
So there's 3 turrets. Mordekaiser's working on that 4th. He might actually get this.
We'll see if he sticks to it. He's getting chased down though, but I don't think he's scared of much right now. Sivir above him for backup.
Allows the Ornn in the bot lane to take that turret down there. Lux had to ult just for wave clear and still didn't manage to save the turret.
Mordekaiser and the Ornn just splitting him in half. They can't decide on who to go for.
And they can't really go for just one person. They have to all go down. Like, there's no way that at this point in the game they're going to just send 2 people to kill either one of those players.
No, it's going to take an army to knock down Mordekaiser at this point.
And that looks like what they're going to try to do. They're setting it up. However, Mordekaiser can just ignore the entire team fight and ult Lulu into his Realm of Death. Buys some time. Ooh, nice flash from the Lux. They finally managed to take him down, but the resources they expended to take him down leave them with almost nothing for the next team fight.
While Ornn just slowly whittles away on the inhibitor. Mission to burn down Baron.
And I think this is pretty solidly in one Lolcat Nunchucks favor.
Oh yeah, for sure. They played super well in laning phase, slowly built up leads, rotated, collapsed when they needed to be.
They had some pretty clear communication.
Oh, might sneak this dragon. They're down, but Graves and Sivir coming down bot side.
And then a Malphite ult. They are trying to... Ooh. If that ult had connected, they did manage to pick up at least 1 dragon, so they didn't go out just laying on their backs. Lux does manage to pick up the kill, however she is going to die, and they are going to give the game away for that 1 dragon.
And the pentakill goes to Sivir.
Did she get a pentakill? Oh wow, that is a fed.
Solid play on their part.
Wow.
Sivir picking up all the kills.
Very well coordinated team fight, very well coordinated game from Lolcat Nunchucks.
Yeah, very solid game throughout. Picking up objectives, collapsing, communicating, like you said. Solid effort on their part.
And at this point, all they really need to do is just walk this in. Waiting for the next mini wave, might as well take another inhibitor while they're at it. And they've got that top wave primed if they wanted to take that turret and inhibitor as well. There goes the turret, last inhibitor. And it's just a matter of dotting their I's, crossing their T's. They're not taking any big risks. They know they've got the win. Being very patient with closing this game out.
Yep, playing it slow, just walking it in. No rush.
And here comes the dive. 1 knock-up onto Lux. Malphite ult to retaliate. Lux actually gets a really good ult. Unfortunately, it's too far gone in the game to make much of a difference. And that's the final couple towers right there, and there goes the Nexus. Very good game for Lolcat Nunchucks. What a game.
Yep. Good game. the beginning felt fairly even, but the lead just snowballed out of control, and Wildcat Nunchucks just walked into victory.
There's not really much to say about that game, right?
We are getting set up for round 2. We'll be back in just a moment.
If GCI's new 5G can keep up with me and one of my students.
Hey Nick, ready to go?
Let's do this. Let's go, Maddie, come on. GCI's upgraded their network, so you get better coverage when inside or outside. We got this, Maddie, keep it up. GCI's hometown advantage gives me great reception and faster data speeds. Get the network that keeps up with me.
And me.
Welcome back. We are back to round 2 with UNA versus USF. We've got the first ban out of the way with Thresh. Really solid first ban. Kind of a really solid bot lane pick.
Yep, always a good ban. Just a playmaker. Strong lane.
Early ban on the Zoe. That looks like kind of a targeted ban to me. Zoe's also a very strong pick, however.
Yeah, it could be a targeted ban. Both teams are fairly highly ranked. You got some diamonds and up on both sides, with at least one Grandmaster on USF Lol Club side, which is impressive.
Master Floab. Floab? I'm sure somebody will correct me somewhere.
Come back stronger.
Master Floab, I'm sure. The Gangplank ban. I'm a big fan of that champ.
Mordekaiser ban. Really solid ban for the top laner.
Yeah, we saw him do some damage last game. Maybe they'll take notes and get rid of him, which they did.
The Ashe ban. That feels like a kind of a targeted ban to me. Maybe she's strong right now, but that's not something that I would usually see banned in my games, at least.
Yeah, I believe it's a strong pick right now, just because it's a scaling ADC with CC built in, which is always good. I believe Varus is also good right now with a lethality, comet, poke.
And the
type of
Pike
build.
ban. So it's a little bit of targeted bans on both sides, it feels like. Gangplank ban coming out from the red team there.
They locked in Heimerdinger.
That's an interesting first pick.
For sure, because the Heimerdinger definitely has some weaknesses that people can exploit. But let's see what they pick into.
It's also a very flexible pick that I've seen flexed into almost every lane except for jungle. Galio is the answer, though. Okay.
Yep, natural magic shields, decent wave clear. That's a pretty good pick. If Heimer were to go mid along with Galio.
I'm kind of curious to see. I think this is the Heimerdinger bot. I'm calling it now. This is the Heimerdinger bot.
Yeah? Okay.
I think we're going to see a Heimerdinger bot. Volley bear pick, okay.
Good strong pick. Can do some real damage early. Level 6 provides just an obscene amount of dive potential by turning off their turrets for, I believe, 3 seconds at the first rank.
Olaf as the counter jungle. Really strong early jungle presence. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that volley bear in check.
Great early game duelist, and if ahead is nearly unkillable.
Does tend to fall off a little bit towards the later game though, but so far both of these teams have picked early to mid game champions. Here's the Orianna. I'm assuming this is their mid lane pick, which makes it more likely that we're going to see that Heimerdinger in the bot lane.
Could still be top, who knows?
Ooh, a Rek'Sai.
Just
Okay.
really strong, engaging champs on red side here.
So that makes a volley bear top way more likely. Rek'Sai is also a pretty strong early game jungler.
Oh yeah, very strong. One of the strongest. Just the early game damage is
Fine.
incredible.
I don't need more enemies.
And people never suspect it. I'm not sure how I mean, ganking Heimer is always a chore and never quite fun. But we'll see how they pull it off here.
Right.
So both teams have yet to pick an ADC. I expect to see a little bit more ADC bans, or even support bans, pinching off the bot lane choices. Although Heimerdinger, like I suspect, is going bot lane, it could still be flex top.
See who these last bans are. I'm very curious who they ban out.
Nautilus, okay.
Trying to get rid of simple engage options for blue side here.
Which blue side looks like they need something more reliable than a Galio dash.
Hey, your loss. But I get it.
There's blue side picking out more of those ADC potential answers to Heimerdinger's, just taking out the range and the easy clearing of the turrets. I think this is the Heimerdinger bot for sure.
You know, I think you might be right, actually.
So that's probably a Galio mid. With that Lulu lock-in, I would be surprised to see her go somewhere else. Although in previous seasons it was a thing, I don't believe it's as strong anymore with a lot of the changes that have happened to items since she has been in those other lanes.
Ooh, the Vayne coming out.
Vayne. You know, I think this is a Vayne top, actually. So they have rounded out their composition a little bit. They don't have very strong... Oh, there's their engage.
Is that the set support?
You know what? I don't know. I'm really interested to see what's happening with this blue side here. They've got a lot of not necessarily meta picks here. It could potentially be Heimerdinger support.
That's also possible. Let's see who UNF finishes this draft off with. What ADC, or maybe another champ, who are they going to round off their team comp with?
They need some wave clear. They need strong wave clear. They need some range. There's the Kaisa. So that's probably a Galio mid then. They've got some scaling. They've got some options to get them through late game. This is actually looking like that's a Heimerdinger support. Interesting. Okay.
Oh wow, it is Heimerdinger support. I'm very surprised by that. I believe a European team not too long ago was doing set support. And that's what I was thinking on. Maybe they're taking notes from some pro players across the pond.
I'm actually really excited to see this game. They've got some interesting team compositions. Let's talk about the win conditions of the team comps. Ideally, you would want to win before Olaf falls off. However, Rek'Sai also, I believe, has the problem of falling off in later games, so they're even in that regard. Galio's not as strong scaling as Orianna into the late game. However, Kaisa does scale rather strongly. I believe Volibear scales all right as well.
Yeah, Kaisa scales incredibly hard. A bit newer champ, seems to have a bit fuller kit than Vayne. However, you can't really count out Vayne either. She has a very crazy outplay potential, but also the set ball delivery combo with Orianna should be fun to watch coming mid-late game.
And we'll have to just watch IM Alpha and how he places that ball around the map, as it can be an effective zoning tool. This should be a really good game. We've got a lot of different dynamics happening here. Let's talk about win conditions for UNA. They've got the Kaisa scaling, so if they have the late game go, they've got the Kaisa insurance, as long as Kaisa doesn't fall too far behind. And she'll just rip through Set and Olaf. As long as she doesn't get caught by Orianna or Vayne in those team fights, she should be able to carry those team fights relatively easily. However, if Orianna manages to maneuver her ball or Set manages to deliver somebody on top of the Kaisa is not in for a very fun time.
No, not at all. But however, UNA does have great peel protection with Galio, Lulu, and even Voli if need be.
That is true. It's going to come down to who manages to get ahead. I'm actually really excited about this. I think this is a very solid draft from both teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got some spicy picks. We got the Heimerdinger support, which I'm excited to see how they manage that. And Kaisa's always a fun champ. Flashy plays. And Voiber's new, and he's always fun to watch too. Vane's always a classic champ, classic carry. Let's see how Neck Fanboy plays this champ. One of my favorites.
Man, I love looking at people's names. They bring me a lot of joy.
They do get creative sometimes.
Carry me. The Kaisa. Oh man. And just another couple seconds before we start loading the game here. So, UNA does have a lot of appeal and kind of counter-engage with the picks that they've drafted themselves. USF does have kind of a more, I guess, brawly team comp where they want to fight you in small skirmishes, as they have fairly strong duelist champions. However, they also have team fight options with the Oriana ball delivery with that set.
Yeah, they seem to be a very balanced team with a little bit of everything. I'm very curious to see how they're going to try to stop the set delivery combo with Oriana, because that combo is very fast. You put the ball in set, he ults on somebody, and it's very quick. So I'm very curious to see what measures they go to try to stop this combo from happening.
And the set did take Phase Rush, which I don't think is a common rune on set. So I'm incredibly curious as to how this is going to play out here.
Gives him some speed, for sure. Some kiting potential. And we'll see how he plays that. I'm very curious myself.
And here we go.
Everybody else with some fairly typical runes. Oh yeah,
Got some pings coming from UNL already.
Comment on Heimerdinger will prove to be a valuable poking tool.
I think this is going to come down to wave manipulation and who manages to control their side objectives better. Because USF does have a little bit more control with that. With the Heimerdinger, eventually he's going to be able to clear waves relatively easily. They've got fast, safe wave clear with Oriana. And all they have on the side of UNA is basically Galio Qs. And Kaisa doesn't have a whole lot of safe wave clear.
No, she has to be, fairly close auto attack range, but I believe that's 550. Same as Vayne. But, that's okay. They have a pretty bully upfront team comp, so I don't think they're afraid to step up a little bit.
Pretty standard start from both teams, though, fanning out.
Yep,
Getting some hopeful information on where the jungle is starting. I don't think either team saw where they're starting, though, so...
Yeah, for sure. They're playing safe, keeping the distance, make sure no one gets caught out. No reason to push anything. Looks like the farmer's beating mid lane. Bot side Vayne looking to try to get some.
Oh, it is a support set.
Oh, wow.
That's going to make the top lane kind of annoying for it. So we did have a lane swap, I guess.
Okay.
that kind of, I think, gives both junglers more of an idea of where they're going to need to help out, as Set isn't the best at returning damage onto ranged supports like Lulu.
No.
But also, Heimerdinger is going to have free reign of that lane for a while.
I think with that said, I think bot lane on the Vayne set side should be fairly passive. However, they could just walk up and kind of fight
We
them
said
early.
fairly passive, and then they just started fighting right away. It should be a fairly spicy bot lane then.
I suppose Set can do that. He has a lot of passive healing. So small trades could be what they look for. Yeah, Boy's going to have a rough time up top lane with Heimerdinger.
Oh, we got the early flash from that Set. Oh, and the early first blood goes to USF. That was very well executed from them. The surprise flash caught the enemy ADC on UN a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, well played on their part.
And Olaf secures the bottom scuttle as Kaisa secures the top side. USF's jungler is ahead by 1 camp. Rek'Sai looking to go top lane. There are some pings spotted out. Mid lane and jungler roaming up. So let's see what happens here. There's the teleport. They are gonna walk out with the Heimerdinger. That was a very solid 2-man stun from that Heimerdinger with his E there.
Yeah, well
And
played.
the coordination from both teams to teleport both of their mid laners up at the same time, trying to keep their respective lane mates safe.
Looked like a fantastic gank, but man, they really stuck to it, and Heimerdinger just squeaked out. I thought he was dead to rights. Burning some Summers topside though, for sure. Burnt,
Oh, and that is the kill when Heimerdinger teleports back to lane.
oh, stepped up a little too far, wasn't respecting the dong.
And the Set did actually take a Hex Flash as well. That's going to be kind of nerve-wracking if you are the Kaisa.
Those surprise flashes over the walls can certainly set things up.
No pun intended, I'm sure.
Maybe, we'll see.
Olaf just recalling now. Looks like his first recall. A little bit later than Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai's already back out on the map clearing his jungle again.
It looks like Heimerdinger has a CS advantage up top lane, but that's to be expected. He's a bit of a bully, especially for melee champions, such as Volley. Mid lane is also a slight advantage, goes to Lolcub with the Orianna. Vayne is also CSing very well against the Kaisa and Lulu combo.
Clearing out a ward, and they're pinging for the dragon. Olaf can take the that dragon relatively safely at early levels, especially with his passive.
Yeah, he is built-in lifesteal and attack speed at low health. It makes him fairly safe to at least try to solo it. But it looks like he has Set there to help him out.
And it looks like he's pinging out question marks on the map for tracking Rek'Sai, and his guess is actually pretty good.
Easy dragon. No contest.
And the Rek'Sai actually gives up the scuttle as well, so Rek'Sai just lost a bunch of time there. Oh no, she secured the scuttle. They are going to, however, pressure her out of her jungle. She is going to lose out on her red buff. It looks like she might answer by going to their side and trying to steal their red buff.
Oh yeah.
She is spotted out on the ward, however, so we'll see. They know that she's there.
Good rotations on low club side. They're consuming the UN's jungle. Good smart plays on their part, realizing the opportunities they have there.
And Natsu and Neck Fanboy down there on the USF side have developed quite a lead, CS lead for themselves. It's not unsurmountable, but it is something. And
like
USF has actually started to seal away the blue buff as well. That is a very sad Rek'Sai coming here.
Yeah, not leaving much. Giving the blue over to Vayne.
And that is a ghost flown from the Galio there.
Oh, they tried to get him in range with the Oriole, but they just could not quite get there.
So that is an Orianna ult down for the next minute or so. Ooh, very nice condemn from the Neck Fanboy here down here. And she just squeaks out from that punch. She is gonna get away safe.
Ooh, so close. Set could not quite get another enemy unit behind him. Otherwise, it would have been a stun and probably the kill.
They are gonna zone them off from that wave entirely now. They are just gonna look to deny as much farm as possible. Probably a smart call to recall there.
You do have to be careful. Set will hit 6 here pretty soon. And who knows what can happen. Good thing Kai'Sa's backing. Play it safe.
And Heimerdinger continuing to bully this Volibear up in the top lane here.
Yeah, boy's not gonna have a good time. He'll remain like this until he gets some, hopefully, some help from Rek'Sai.
Yeah, Rek'Sai's laners are kind of bleeding gold at this point. So nice poke onto that volley there. Walks out of the second wave there. Does manage to delay her back. Does not manage to do more than that though. Got the flash out of the mid laner there.
Good safe flash. Probably knew that was a done deal if he didn't.
They have actually managed to delay Vade's back for quite a long time. She might actually lose too much if she backs at this point.
Oh, they're being cheeky with the wards.
Good response from Yuena there. And there's the engage onto the Heimerdinger. Again with the double stun. He might still go down. There he goes, but he does get the return. And down to the bot lane. Quite a bit of action happening down here. She does manage to get the ADC out safely. However, Lulu is going to lose her right now response.
The condemn of the wall was super clean there. It was good team fight on their part.
We got Orianna rotated up and kept that pressure on Volibear, not allowing him to back. Oh, actually, that's their mid laner. They just both rotated up there. Slowly chipping away at all these towers here.
Yep, they have the lead. They know they have the lead, and they're just gonna slowly push their way in.
And that's an early Rift Herald from the jungler of USF. Oh, feeling fairly safe to take basically whatever he wants in the jungle right now.
11-minute Rift Herald is always good. I'll add some pretty awesome.
Donating the blue to Orianna there.
Nice. Always like when I see that. Makes mid lane a bit exciting, even more than it already is.
And actually, the mid laners have stayed fairly consistent throughout this entire thing. They're still not that far from each other in terms of CS.
Yeah, I was doing a pretty good job keeping up, even though it was a melee matchup. The Vayne going all in, using the Bork to slow the Lulu down. They're chasing it.
And a teleport coming in from USF. In conjunction with the Volley Bear's there too. So is the jungler. They are going to try to take this tower. I believe they've got Rift Herald. Everybody's rotating down here. That was fast response from both teams. And USF is going to get the dragon out of this.
Good rotation.
You're going to have to give it up.
Yeah, UN is not in a great position to try to get this one, but it's okay. It's first dragon, or second dragon. Not a whole lot of pressure yet. For the next
They're
one.
also going to pick up this tower, I believe. Kaisa will do what she can to fend them off, but she can't step up too far because she doesn't have any backup. And Set does have his ult. Yep, they're chasing her back. Kaisa, or Rek'Sai finally manages to get her red buff after being kept out of her jungle for the last probably 5 minutes or so. And that might be a kill onto the... Yep, there's the... Oh, and he gets the return kill with that taunt.
Nice. That was a very, very clutch taunt throw out there.
That actually was very needed from UN's side. Didn't lose the tower, managed to get a return kill. I believe he also burned a flash from Olaf.
Yeah, he did. Good play on Gallion's part. Nice heads up play. Not ideal, but he did get something out of it.
Hibernator's just going to continue to chip away at this tower.
Unrelenting force, he is.
And there's nothing that Volley Bear can do about it either. Bane's going to get donated a red buff. So the Vayne and Kaisa matchup actually... Oh, never mind, we'll come back to that. We've got the Heimerdinger in trouble again. Rex... Oh, maybe not. He just straight up 1v2s them, takes the kill, and is now chasing down the other... Oh, and down to the bot lane. Everything's happening at the same time.
Rek'Sai not respecting the Heimerdinger damage. Galio's ulting topside.
Lulu trying to keep that ADC safe, just can't manage to do it. Galio does manage to get the return kill onto the Heimerdinger. They are going to pick up the bottom turret.
Not looking great for UNA. World Club at South Florida did a fantastic job at securing all those kills. Team fighting fantastically.
To UNA's credit, they did not take it laying down. They have been consistently fighting it back and getting objectives back, albeit slowly. Alright, if not objectives, at least kills. They are going to pick up another kill there.
I'm Alpha stepping up way too far and just getting collapsed on.
And Alpha himself just leaving one minion on that camp. That's got to be really annoying if you're the Rek'Sai. To walk into a jungle camp and only find one minion left for you when you're already behind your opponent, not feel good.
No, of course not. A little bit of disrespect, but that's okay. You came here to win.
And you end up doing actually an okay job at keeping Vision pushed up relatively far, considering how many turrets they have down on the map.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Keeping Vision checked.
Oh, and Rek'Sai gets popped. Probably going a little bit too far up, trying to secure that Vision.
The Vayne almost spoiled that kill by condemning the Rek'Sai away, but they end up getting it in the end.
Killer trying to do what he can to just try to put some pressure back on the map. And just get a little bit of damage on the tower in the mid lane.
8k goal lead at 16 minutes, which is quite a lot. Let's see if UNA can do anything to try to come back in this game.
And Alpha clearing out some more Vision on that Olaf again.
Much stronger Vision game than our previous game. You guys are very aware of wards and Vision. Which is always nice.
And you can see that USF is actually playing around the... Oh, and Volley Bear thought that Vayne was in trouble. turns out Volibear might actually be the one in trouble. Never mind, the rest of his team comes in, and he's still alive, and he finally goes down, and just melts through the Lulu. Galio trying to keep his team alive, does not manage to do it. Rek'Sai manages to squeak out. That's going to be the mid turret for USF, and probably the inhibitor turret.
Olaf left unchecked there for a little bit to chop down the Lulu and to continue on and wreak havoc. But just solid team fight. You can definitely see the gold lead take in effect there.
Yuana's actually playing fairly well for being so far behind.
Oh, for sure. But they're trying. You gotta give them respect for that.
It's just the little tiny decisions that were made by USF early on in the game. I think that the early dragon into the early invade on the Rek'Sai's jungle really is what kind of solidified that lead for them. The fact that Yuana did not collapse early enough for the Olaf to be punished really for invading that early.
Yeah, the consuming of Rek'Sai's camps early, bullying Rek'Sai kind of pretty hard early. Definitely paid dividends. Rek'Sai was not a force to gank with for a very long time.
And even now, Rek'Sai is still struggling. She is 40 CS down on her opponent, and definitely 2 kills, and then assists down as well.
2 whole
and that's
levels.
not for lack of trying. She's definitely like made the moves. It's that Heimerdinger just was left alone for too long. Trying to get some. Ooh, that's some nasty. Nice dancing moves there by the Lulu. I don't think it's going to be enough, however, and she does get chunked out. Trying to get that vision back.
Tried to burn the ult to save it, but just too much damage coming out from Lul Club.
And the Hex Flash is being channeled. Oh, and it goes over the wall. Might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew, but manages to safely walk out.
They know his team has his back. He's not really afraid.
And they've got Orianna and they've got Heimerdinger both pushing lanes. Ooh, that ult manages to interrupt the burrow there. That is going to be the inhibitor turret.
Good catch on
there's a flash there from... Oh, man. And that Olaf just melts through the lines. Vayne is melting through the lines. Everybody's melting through the lines. Kaisa got caught on the wrong side. That Kaisa is dead.
Oh, wow. Just great catching and great team fight on
both teams, honestly. Like, they've both done okay at rotating quickly, rotating to where they need to. It's just those tiny little leads added up to bigger and bigger leads. They didn't take huge risky plays. This game is going to be cleanly closed out right here. What a great game.
It was good. It looks fairly lopsided.
And that was the first set I think I saw all game long. A little bit of disrespect in the fountain there. Honestly, though, that game was not that bad. They had the quick rotations from both teams. When they collapsed in the bot lane, every single player was down there. There was 10 people. I don't think very much actually happened from it, except for the dragon pickup, but you can see how much coordination both teams had going into this.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you gotta give the slight edge to Lul Club. They just played super flawlessly throughout. They didn't give them much at all, and those small little victories here and there led to a fairly fat lead early.
Yeah, and they did try to punish the Heimer. They did try to, for being pushed up so much, but the 2-man stuns that he got continuously back-to-back throughout those ganks that were sent up towards him did manage to just save his life because his team did rotate up fast enough to help him out. And he wasn't punished as much as he probably should have been.
Yeah, the Heimerdinger was ready to fight constantly. They just did not bring enough oomph to knock him down.
If they had been just a little bit more even, those kills easily could have gone through, and we could have seen a different outcome in that game. Well played by both teams. I believe we're going to be getting set up for our third game here. We will be back. I think that we've got some videos as well that we'll be playing shortly.
Yeah, that is correct. So we do have 2 videos that we're going to be playing, and we're going to take a short break, let the players take a little bit of a rest, play a couple more videos, and we'll be back with round 3 in about 15 minutes or so. All right, we are going to take a quick 15-minute break. We're going to put some music on, and we'll see y'all shortly.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky, what a feeling. 'Cause I feel like dancing high, got a feeling. Time to feel it. This is where it all begins. Free yourself and let go, time to see it all. Don't think about tomorrow, today we are heroes, hear adventure call. There are whole new worlds to see, I keep running, and my feet keep lifting me, like I'm flying, time to see it. This is where it all begins. This is where it all begins. This is where it all begins. 'Cause this could be the best day of our lives, yeah. This is where it all begins. This is where it all begins. This is where it all begins. A moment to feel alive. This is where it all begins. A moment to feel alive. This is where it all begins. A moment this could be the best day
Welcome back. We've got our third match of the day on stream. We've got Bikini Bottom Boys on the blue side, and Lolcat Nunchucks is back on the red side. We've already got our first couple of bans out of the way with Graves and Fizz ban for Bikini Bottom Boys and a Nautilus ban for Lolcat Nunchucks.
The Fizz ban, you hardly ever see that one. People usually just try to deal with it as best they can, but maybe they just don't like the fish.
Could be a target ban at Raw Fish, who
It's
has
called
Fizz as... Yep. I'm assuming that's a target ban there.
I like it. Look at the Shen ban come out too. Get rid of some team fight CCing champs here.
Also some crop map pressure.
True.
Another ban at Echo. I'm assuming this Raw Fish guy is also probably good at Echo, because we saw that in the last game that he was in too, I believe.
I believe you're right. The Ashe ban coming out too. This might be a theme here. I think Ashe might just be a really good champ right now.
Let's see who they pick up as their first. Thresh, not giving too much away there. Solid first pick. And I would imagine that they'd probably pick up a jungler or a top laner first here. The Mordekaiser is available for Lolcat Nunchucks. I believe they found great success with that in their first game. Oh, they opted instead for the Caitlyn. Oh, Caitlyn Morgana. Really solid duo lane partner down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, good follow-up with each other, along with great anti-Thresh abilities with that Morgana Black Shield.
And it is locked in.
Nice. Strong duo coming from the Lolcat Nunchuck side.
Kaisa is an answer. Looking for some potential late game scaling? No. Kaisa not going to be picked up. Looks like it is going to be an Ezreal instead.
Ezreal, nice safe pick. Can stay away from those nasty Morgana bindings. See what their third pick is here.
Kennen,
Ooh.
interesting.
Super solid team fighting and a lane bully up top lane if that's where he goes.
And of course, with Kennen, Morgana Black Shield doesn't mean much.
True. Ken will burn through that pretty quickly and apply the CC regardless.
Calio picked up as well.
Alright, let's see what these last two bands are. 4 bands are.
I would imagine to see some more mid lane focus with this bands, or maybe some junglers banned out. As I'm pretty sure all these.
The shadows.
There's the Kayn ban for the jungle.
Kane's a good band just because he's so versatile. You could go Assassin or Red Kayn, which is pretty nasty with CC and sustaining fights.
The
Greatest.
Gragas is also taken off.
Great jungler, great early game jungler, can supply a lot of gank potential early. Fiddlesticks. Oh man, I wish I could see Fiddlesticks in one of these games. He's a very fun champ to see.
I return to my training.
Like, get rid of the flashy guy, Lee Sin himself.
Oh, unfortunate. Lee Sin does offer a lot of fun plays. Good setup, good follow-up, all around a solid pick in the jungle. Especially for a carry-style jungler. Kha'Zix, speaking of carry-style junglers, this is that's a statement if I've seen one.
I love the Kha'Zix pick. Always fan of the bug. Always fun to see an assassin make plays happen. A lot of early game potential. Hecarim could be a very solid pick here. Could disrupt a lot of fighting. At least also a strong early game pick. That Cocoon can be devastating. Especially with a ganking top. The Kennen there. Let's see what they pick mid here.
It also kind of nullifies Kha'Zix's dual potential in the jungle with her spider form, as she does get her little spiders around her, removing Kha'Zix's isolation threat.
Also true. That's a good counterpick into Kha'Zix.
Ooh, and the choo-choo train. It is locked in. We've got some interesting team comps here. Let's talk win conditions for a second. How does Bikini Bottom Boys win here on blue side?
I have concerns about the lack of tank they have. They don't have much in way. They just have a lot of engage with like the cannon, potential thresh hooks, but in the Elise Cocoon. But other than that, man, if they're in for the long haul, I don't think they may not win this one.
Well, they don't have the traditional tank, it's true, but they do have a lot of poke. They have a lot of safe, long-range poke, and they do have strong individual duelists who can wave clear relatively safely and easily and apply a lot of side lane pressure here. I don't think you go for a straight-up 5v5 kind of style fight that they have drafted with the champions they've drafted. I think you do try to split their attention. However, with the Kha'Zix, that might be a little bit riskier, so we might be looking at more of a 3-2 game here. On the side of Lolcat Nunchucks, they do kind of want to just straight up team fight and have the Kha'Zix pick off anybody who's running or coming late to the team fight, making a cannon flank a little bit more dangerous. However, it is cannon, and anybody trying to duel a cannon with his cooldowns up is can be in for a rude awakening.
True, yeah. The Lolcat Nunchuck, they definitely want to fight, grind it out, have those long fighty games, utilizing those tankiness stats on Sion and Galio, and have Kha'Zix Caitlyn clean it up.
If Bikini Bottom Boys manages to split this correctly, though, they should be able to eventually move the Ezreal Thresh to the mid lane, have the Elise there for counter engage, and keep Kennen and Jace both in a side lane, pressuring continuously. And they're both safe enough champs to run away on. You can't really lock them down super easily without a lot of setup. So as long as Bikini Bottom Boys keeps their vision relevant throughout the game, they might be okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. They definitely have to tiptoeing with the Bikini Bottom Boys is definitely going to have to be a bit of a careful walk for them, just because if they mishap, there's a lot of engage and coming in on the Wolfcat Nunchuck side. But I mean, anything's possible. I definitely favor the Wolfcat Nunchucks team comp over theirs.
You know, I would love to see Bikini Bottom Boys pull this out. Actually, I really like the style of draft that they have stuck with. We'll just have to see if their gameplay follows up with their draft and what they've picked. Because in a straight up 5v5, I think they're going to struggle unless they manage to get an early lead and snowball out of control. But if they come out of laning phase even, they're not really a team that's looking to team fight big. They've got the counter engage with Kennen. You might actually see Kennen group up with the mid lane with Ezreal and Thresh and just be there as that threat of counter engage, because you don't really want a turret dive a Kennen. And you might see Jace off in the side lane poking and pushing on his own.
That's true. They do have, I guess, small group team fights like Kennen, Jace, Kennen, Elise, Jace and Elise. They got good combos in there. Definitely strong. We'll see how they do. I'm very curious. Lane phase is going to be very important for this team. Bikini Bottom Boys has to at least maintain, a level playing field if they want to continue.
For this type of team to really kind of excel, they really have to be on top of their vision game. So I'm curious to see if they can if they're up to the task.
Yeah, for sure. They have to control the line of scrimmage here. Make sure nothing gets out of control, because the strong engage on the Wolfcat Nunchucks team. Silent ults out of seemingly nowhere. Galio taunts. Morgana bindings. They just gotta be careful.
For sure. Oh, and we have a Pulsefire Thresh Prestige Edition skin as well. I really love that skin, actually.
Flexing the skins for sure.
And we're getting into the game here. Fix my frames a little bit.
I believe Baby Powder played Graves earlier today, and he had a very strong showing. Let's see if he can match that other performance.
On another carry style jungler. Got some early pings going out from both teams here. They're all grouping up. We might be looking at an invade for both teams.
Oh, is this the first invade here of the day?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
They're playing safe, make sure no one steps out.
Kha'Zix starts to move towards red. Looks like they were looking for the early invade. They didn't see it. Curious to see if Bikini Bottom goes for a late invade, as Lolcat Nunchucks does spread out.
Minions have spawned.
Could supply an advantageous position here, but they may just play it safe.
Kha'Zix did back and get his sweeper, so he is looking for that early pressure.
Smart play on his part.
And he did ensure that his red did not get... They did not start his red. Look at out of my yard. With the early invade. I think he was looking to take away that cheeky blue. He warded out. He knows where Elise is starting now. She is not blue side. However, as he saw Kennen walk past, he decided not to offer that blue, which I think ultimately was smart. However, if he'd waited, he might have actually been able to sneak it away, because Kennen did not ward or check the bush. Fairly standard start so far from both junglers.
Just clearing things, getting leveled up here.
Some free trade going on to Taka here in the bot lane. Ooh, and the fast Jace combo there. That was a quick 1-2.
Galio traded pretty well going back into it. Galio going Aftershock, playing pretty safe here. Just have to be careful with the Jace. He can output a lot of damage very quickly.
With the Aftershock, it tells me that he's planning on going a little tankier than the AP Galio mid. Manages to trade back pretty decently and actually chunks... Oh, the flash past the minions. Not going to be quite enough. He is actually going to walk out of that. He does have to burn the flash, but it keeps himself alive, and he'll have to recall as well.
Close gank on Bikini Bottom boy's side. He almost pulled it off.
A flash for a flash. We'll have to see if Godsent on the Jace here can take advantage of that summoner spell being gone.
Flash down, but his ignite is also gone. The Jace usually has more than enough damage to secure kills.
And everybody's coming down here for this. This might be First Blood. They do manage to... Oh, and First Blood goes over to Raw Fish on the Galio.
Oh, good rotations on their part. Stayed calm, played the game.
Kenyatt was unfortunately unable to rotate down quite as fast as Out of My Yard, as Out of My Yard was pushed up, making it not safe for Kennen to follow. Ooh, and the hook onto the Caitlyn. She's actually going to be dead there, and Morgana's probably dead here too, actually. So Bikini Bottom does get the double. They are going to get a return kill. Oh, he stays alive.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Bikini Bottom does reply in the bot lane. Fantastic.
The game is back to a dang near tied gold lead. Tied gold.
The farm is pretty even across the board too.
Slight advantage in the jungle towards Kha'Zix.
And the teleport does come out from out of my yard and the Scion in the top lane.
Yep, trying to keep pressure back on Kennen.
And we go back to our quiet farm fest. Scion actually one of the few melee characters that farms relatively safely into ranged characters like Kennen or Quinn or Teemo.
Yeah, Teemo too. He's a very good champ. He has a good kit into farming, playing safe and whatnot. And late game, he's a monster.
He's just a brick wall, and he already is becoming... Oh, never mind, we'll get back to that. Rawfish does dodge down towards the enemy jungle to try to get away here. Might have been the wrong way.
We'll see where he goes here. Chicken back up. Kha'Zix coming down for
That
backup.
patience on the taunt, though. Kha'Zix does come in for... Ooh, and he manages to save his mid laner, too. That was some patience from Rawfish.
Yeah, he... wow, I'm very impressed by that. That was good moves on his part. Good plays. He knew Kha'Zix was coming down. He held the line. Good on Lolcat Nunchuck for pulling that off.
Definitely waited out the entire duration of the taunt. If Bikini Bottom Boys had waited just another second, they probably would have been able to snag that kill fine, but he managed to get the double taunt.
And Baby Powder again just being at the right place at the right time. Strong showing on his part. Sion's looking for Kennen to keep walking up here.
He is looking to trade very aggressively into this Kennen. Doesn't really seem to care, just wants to get those stacks off, I guess.
Kennen getting the stun, just walking away. Oop, missed hook.
Good dodges on both sides.
Ezreal eating some Caitlyn harass there. Ooh, Sion also taking some damage from the turret and the Kennen too.
Ooh, and this is the combo. That is so dangerous. They didn't quite manage to nail it, but if they had, that would be a dead Ezreal right there. Caitlyn just slightly too far back. You saw her try to net shot into that to try to get the distance closed so she could trap in time, but it did not quite go down.
Ezreal does not have any summons, so he should be careful when stepping up into Morgana Caitlyn.
Ezreal did manage to shift himself away to safety here. And Sion's in trouble. He is getting collapsed on from... Oh, is he going to get away here? He's going to just barely squeak out. You can't stop the train.
Good play on his part, ulting away. That ult is on a fairly long cooldown.
It looked like Jace had just shifted too. He didn't have his range form ready. If he had had the ranged auto attack, he probably would have secured the kill there.
Oh, for sure. That bonus auto attack when he just shifts would have definitely secured the kill. But
Gold Gold's still pretty even at this point of the game compared to the games from earlier in the day.
Yep, so far much closer game. Still a 1k gold lead into Lolcat Nunchuck's favor, but that's not too much.
And again, that's going to be mostly concentrated, I believe, in the jungle.
Yeah, for sure. Kha'Zix doing a good job keeping the lead there. Staying close to mid, always ready to help Galio out.
And even though that Caitlyn has a CS lead on Ezreal, Ezreal is actually competitive with gold because he does have those 2 kills. He actually might be ahead of Caitlyn even.
Morgana missing the binding, Thresh missing the hook.
Actually, Ezreal and Kate are just gold away from each other, about 20 gold apart.
Oh, that close, huh?
Yep. Morgana not really that scared of Thresh here.
Fighting for vision control turns into a fight.
And she might regret that decision.
Morgana taking a lot of damage from Ezreal.
Missed all of her traps. Oh, she's going for it. Oh, and we do have a disconnect in the mid lane.
I love the aggressive flash by Caitlyn. Caitlyn just playing out of her mind.
Unfortunately, she didn't manage to close it. The stopwatch from Thresh does manage to
Oh,
get him away
no.
to safety, and he does secure the kill on the Caitlyn.
I love the aggressive play, but sometimes it doesn't always work out to the full extent.
Very close, though.
Kennen trying to get the stuns off, tap dance around the Scion, eating.
Kennen really wants to protect that ward. Unfortunately, Cyan just does not really care. He kills the ward anyways.
Scion not taking a whole lot of damage from Kennen. He has to be careful there.
He is going to have to back off, however, because Elise did just come up to help her top laner out.
Did the Scion notice? He probably did.
Yeah, his ward's gone. He knows. He's playing safe now. Giving Kennen some breathing room. And actually, every single summoner down on the bot side for Bikini Bottom Boys. Morgana does still have her flash. Black Shield going out just in case. Although these guys look very dead. Good rotation from Bikini Bottom Boys here. And that Morgana will be chased down as well.
They
Give it over to Ezreal.
Ooh, good close on this. Good rotations, good communication.
And Thresh does start rotating up. Presumably to get some more vision control. Kha'Zix is waiting right there. He sees both of them. And he's gonna back off just a little bit.
Ezreal threw out a wave clearing ult. Try to get more pressure on the turret.
And Sion's back in the top lane, just farming up that CS lead. No, actually, he's down.
He has a big wave crashing into him though. Yeah, Sion just does not take a whole lot of damage from Kennen. Kennen may need some help taking him down.
The early Merc Treads from Sion into another Null Magic Mantle is going to keep him relatively comfortable in this lane. At least for the time being. And Sion is above 100 CS, first person in the game.
Yeah, exceptional farm on his part. Over 100, almost 110 at 12 minutes. Almost 13. Ezreal down there stacking his mirror mana.
And Galio does manage to clip him with the edge of that taunt. However, Chase is just going to knock him back and walk away.
Good job on his part for knowing the range. Gets a good heavy trade-off in his favor.
And that is going to open up the Dragon.
It looks like the whole team is rotating down for Dragon.
Yep. Should be for Lolcat nunchucks. They should just give this over. Yep, they're going to just give it over. Ken is finally managing to try to catch up to Sion again. And despite that early pressure from Galio, he is out of cooldowns now and has to flash away from the Jace. If Jace had ignited there, actually Jace would have secured that kill, I believe.
Good trade on his part. He knew if he kept pushing on, he could keep trading into it. Drop the flash. I think that's worth it. He does have to be careful though. Kha'Zix is peeking around the corner here. But
and Kha'Zix's flash secures the kill. I've been very impressed by Baby Powder today.
Yeah, great showing on his part. Always there for the rotations. Always deploying opportunities.
Rawfish is destroying both the enemy mid laner and the jungle now.
He knows his taunt range very well. Just barely clipping both Jace and Elise back to back.
Cyan doesn't even care about the turret damage. He just wants to trade onto Cannon. Cannon is really trying to keep that turret safe.
And despite the kill lead slightly in Bikini Bottom Boy's favor, Lolcat Nunchuck has about a 400 gold lead at this state of the game.
Ooh, a little bit of BM there. They did ping out the Kazakhs, they know he's there. They might give him the top tower. Not much that Cannon can do there.
Yeah, just walk away, fight another day.
And Kazakhs is going to try to steal away the blue. They are going to go engage on this.
Elise flashes away,
Here
trying to
comes
save
the
himself.
flank from Cannon. Elise is coming back in. Oh, they did manage to take out the Jace. They managed to take out the Kazakhs. And they are going to take out the Elise as well.
Oh, so
Meanwhile, in
close.
top lane. Really
Lolcat
strong.
Nunchuck wins top side, Bikini Bottom Boys wins bottom side.
Really strong showing from Bikini Bottom Boys bot side here. That Ezreal is going to turn into kind of a scary force to deal with later on in this game, as he does have quite a lead over the Caitlyn. 1100 gold lead just in the ADC difference right there.
Yeah, the 6 kill Ezreal, stacking Mare Mana.
He's just throwing out spells just for the stacks right now.
Oh, he just completed his item at 16 minutes. That is an incredible pace to get that.
And he's actually
back
got
to
2 items.
Iceborne Gauntlet. Ooh, Ezreal may be a problem. If they cannot close out and catch up with Ezreal with that Iceborne Gauntlet, this may be a long game for the 10-2.
I think this is going to be a longer game, Facebreaker.
It's looking like it. This is looking like a good game here. Much closer than our previous games. Very close gold lead here.
With Ezreal being ahead too, that is kind of the key thing that they need. They need the Ezreal ahead in order for Jace and the Cannon to work off in the side lanes.
I think Ezreal definitely needs to build a Way of the Root
they have,
King.
yes, for sure. There's no other way he's going to get through that Scion.
Yeah, that Sion's going to be a big meaty boy here pretty soon.
And they have rotated Jace to the side lane here, and Ezreal to the mid lane. So they are looking to get that split pressure.
Yeah, flexing that gold lead with the Ezreal mid.
The hook connects, however, Black Shield manages to keep Morgana safe. She just walks right out. The division is still fairly competitive too. It's pretty far up for both teams. Lolcat Nunchucks does actually have a ward in that bush right there. Oh wow! She was
Holy.
just popped.
Extremely clean combo on the Ezreal, finishing off that Caitlyn in a blink of an eye. Caitlyn could not see that coming.
The Scion's coming in from behind. They want to fight. Kennen saw it. He intercepted. He is not going to let that Scion in. He's going to have to also keep himself alive. Here comes the Galio all onto the Scion, keeping him alive. They are going all out here, despite being a man down. They are not scared at all. They are going for it. They managed to actually, it's a pretty even team fight.
Oh, the Thresh barely misses that hook where they could have potentially confirmed that kill on the Galio. Super close team fights on both sides, playing very well.
And actually, that puts Lolcat Nunchucks on top because they still have damage alive. They can still kill the dragon. They started that fight 4v5 knowing it was 4v5, and they still come out on top of the objective.
I think that could have been a very bleak team fight for Bikini Bottom Boys if Kennen did not intercept that Scion ult. That was a very good play on his part. I think that saved the team fight.
Unfortunately, it does result in the dragon going over to Lolcat Nunchucks, but you are correct. That could have been an ace into even more than just a dragon. Heads up play from Kenyot there in the top lane.
Looks like about a 2k gold lead for Lolcat Nunchuck. So still a very close competitive game. However, they do have 3 dragons to Bikini Bottom's none.
And Taka doing a lot of work to keep them in the game here. Just pressuring the mid lane, trying to get Jace some time, Kennen some time to be in those side lanes. Looks like they are getting set up for a dive here in the mid lane though. We have both Sion and Kha'Zix set up behind the mid tower. This mid tower is going to fall. Taka has to give this up. They have to walk away. Good play from... And that is the second kill where Ezreal full rotations somebody.
This Ezreal really knows his damage output and just goes for it. I respect that. He's playing.
No hesitation, just clean.
Yeah, he's saying, team, hop on my back, I'll carry you to victory. Good
Immediate
hook.
engagement and counter engagement from both teams.
Fantastic
That Caitlyn
hook.
has to run. Oh, he tries, he misses the skill shot. Sion manages to say, nope, you're not getting past me.
That Sion is so tanky.
Unfortunately for Wildcat Nunchucks, I don't know if a tanky Sion is going to be enough to save them from all this poke. He needs a couple more items before he's going to just absorb every skill shot.
Great hook on the Thresh, supplying that whole opportunity there. Good on him.
Honestly, the bot lane from Bikini Bottom Boys has been really keeping them from falling completely behind.
Yeah, for sure. The bot side is playing super well.
And Kennen, despite the trouble that he had keeping up with Sion and farm, he has almost caught up. He's only about 11 CS down right now, and he is going to have to be a force to be reckoned with in team fights as well for that counter engage that he has.
True, he supplies so much for team fights.
Basically, Kennen's job is just to keep Ezreal alive.
Yeah, for sure. But he has to be careful that that 5-1 Kha'Zix can still make quick work of Ezreal if left alone.
Got a lot of vision set up here in the river for Wildcat Nunchucks. They have been staying on top of their vision game. There are 4 pink wards, I believe, out on the map right now by them. Looks like they just moved one. Oh, and Kennen sounds like he just either lost Summoner Spell or gained a Summoner Spell. Not sure what that was.
I believe he exchanged Cleanse for Teleport. Sion's waiting for somebody, but no one is there. He's just wasting time right. He's gonna go back to pushing turret.
We do have the next dragon, the Cloud Drake, up in 39 seconds. And
He's a turret for Sion.
Wildcat Nunchucks has the vision. They've been doing a fairly good job, actually, of keeping Bikini Bottom Boys' attention split and making somebody respond to the Sion.
I think Bikini Bottom Boys knew that the Dragon was coming, so Kennen switched to Teleport so he can still push wave and participate.
Ooh, and the hook onto the Sion gets some free harass.
That's a good hook, but into Sion, that wall takes a lot more than that to take him down.
Not really the person that you want to hook. No follow-up on the hook. To be expected if you're hooking a Sion. Ooh, that chunk onto the Caitlyn. She wasn't happy with that. She tried to respond. Not nearly as much damage. Sion's coming in from the flank. Kennen's coming in from the flank. Everybody's flanking. The Kennen manages to pick up Morgana. The Kha'Zix is dead. Kha'Zix is still alive. Kha'Zix got somebody.
Hazel's trying to put out damage output, trying to keep up with the rest of the team, but
unfortunately, Kennen didn't manage to pick up the ADC, so it looks like this one is going to go over to Wildcat Nunchucks. And this will be the 4th dragon, putting the risk of Elder Dragon on the table. It's going to have to take a miracle from Kennen to steal that.
They gave it a shot, but it might not be worth it here.
Is on the hunt. That Thresh is dead.
Ooh, he almost tried to turn that. positive team fight from Lolcat. Let's see what else they can pull out of here.
Both top laners just trying to get the flank on the other team. Some free damage onto Elise. And basically does not care about anything that she does in return.
Nope. You know, for a tank, Sion does a surprising amount of damage.
I mean, he does have Titanic Hydra, which helps a little bit.
True. And auto attack reset and damage based on his health. Does quite a lot when you're a massive, immovable wall. But it's exactly what they want to avoid. They want to avoid Sion trying to get as big as he is now, but another mountain they have to climb for Bikini Bottom Boys.
Looks like they're starting to move their vision over to Baron. That might be the next objective on the table. Oh, and the stun goes onto Morgana. She does manage to just walk away. Unfortunately, the rest of the team wasn't in place to take advantage of that stun. Oh, lots of stun going on to Jace. Lots of damage.
Oh god, landed the binding, but no one's in place to take advantage. See, everyone's just playing their slow game, looking for.
Oh no!
Poison. Oh well, no one's
again.
No one's in place again.
However, them constantly harassing them in the jungle, keeping the Baron threat real, did allow them to pick up the easy mid lane turret. You can see how concerned that Bikini Bottom Boys is with the Baron control. They're trying to get vision. They're trying to claw their way into the jungle safely, but it's really hard against Thresh and the threat of a Sion ulting in your face. Oh, he clips again with forces the flash out of Dog Hand on the Elise.
A bit more flop that time, and this time they did get a summoner spell.
Bikini Bottom Boys is going to take that turret, forcing these guys to start the Baron. Oh, gets the Lantern for vision. They're not going to fall into that. And that was a good call from there goes the engage. Kenna's going to ult as a response. Kha'Zix manages to pick off that Elise too quickly. Takes the Lantern to his death. Paka's trying desperately to keep the team alive. He's trying to kite them out. He's not going to save the Thresh.
Oh, he's kiting his best though. He's trying, but unfortunately, they just do not have the damage or the follow-up to compete with Lolcat Nunchuck's team comp right here. Such strong engage. Great follow-up on their part too. People almost up. They burn down the Baron.
And that is a pretty free Baron.
Bikini Bottom Boys just want to reset, maybe wait out Baron, play safe. They don't want to fight that team with a Baron buff. That's just too much.
And they're not really playing to their win cons here. They should have Jace pressuring a lane where he can bully somebody. Part of the problem is Sion is too big to bully. And Kha'Zix presents too much of a threat. Kha'Zix is so far ahead.
And Guy doesn't have a little bit of armor either. He's stacking armor. He's got Ninja Tabby and Seekers. Jason to him isn't very fun either. The gold lead is definitely shifting towards Lolcat Nunchuck's favor. About a 6k gold lead. A little shy.
So how would you come back into this game if you were in Bikini Bottom Boys' shoes? What's the win con for them right now?
Oh man, I mean, a lot of this has to do with a really solid engagement on Cannon's part, and maybe some follow up with Elise Cocoon on a potential carry, and hopefully Ezreal just goes nuts and does as much damage as he could possibly output. He does have Blade of the Rune King, so he should do more damage to the tanks.
Caitlyn, actually, despite her early deaths, has been playing the team fights remarkably well for being behind. She hasn't died in any of the team fights. It's mostly been in the laning phase itself that she's died. She's gotten close, but she's managed to squeak out with just a little bit of health every time.
She's playing very well. She has 2 items right now, 2 good solid items.
They have so many ways to track the brush. Sion, though, doesn't care. Walks out. Doesn't bother him a bit. And that is the Elder going to be going over to... Oh, are they going to look for this?
How this is looking.
Nice sidestep from Fresh. Oop, hooks in the Sion. That's not who you want, buddy. And they have to run from the Galio as counter engage. There goes the cannon, trying to keep him alive. They managed to kill the Kha'Zix, I believe. Kha'Zix did go down. However, so did Ezreal.
The Elder buff finishing off 3 or 4 people there. Super strong. They're just going in, trying to end this game. They have the power.
Unfortunately for Jace, I don't think he has the wave clear to clear the Baron up minions. And he doesn't have the poke to be scary enough to make them stop. They are corralling him onto the fountain.
Yeah, there's no hope. This game goes to Lolcat Nunchuck. Another great showing on Baby Powder again. He just plays super well, super solid.
Honestly, a solid showing from both teams. Congratulations to Lolcat Nunchucks. They've got quite a bit of coordination there. Both teams did play well for what they had drafted. The problem with the draft from
Bikini Bottom Boys?
Thank you. Bikini Bottom Boys was that they had drafted a split push comp and then they never followed up on it. And then they had the Kha'Zix to dissuade the split push. They couldn't ever safely split push because the Kha'Zix did get going, did get off the ground, and was the very real threat.
Yeah, I think it's hard to pull off the split push kind of thing when the enemy team is split pushing themselves. They were pushing super hard. That Sion early was just pushing that cannon into his turret constantly all game long. And Galio always had Kha'Zix by his side, ready for the Jace to jump in and wait for a misstep.
Again, well done by both teams. All the players played pretty well, exceptionally even for this game, especially. Like they tried to play the comp and they just couldn't get it off the ground. I would have liked to see if they were trying to really push that comp through. They should have probably drafted with the Kha'Zix in mind, especially if they knew that Baby Powder plays these carry type champions.
That's true. I don't think the cannon was a real answer for this team comp here. You just need someone to match the tank, to match, just I don't know, the front line of them. The
idea was definitely there. The cannon, the idea of cannon has a counter engage, has a flank engage. It was definitely there. It was just a little bit of the execution was not quite on the same level as the other team, and that's where Lolcat Nunchucks did squeak out with the win. I shouldn't say squeak out. They did take the lead, and it felt like they had command for most of the game.
True. It was a good, solid game throughout. The only real lead happened near the very end, where the final team fight just swept up the Bikini Bottom Boys and just ran over for Elder Dragon just looking to close out the game, and that's exactly what they did. Won the team fight, got Elder, pushed for a super solid team fight, got exactly what they're looking for, and finished off the game. Okay.
All right, so we did just get word that tomorrow we've got USF versus Lolcat Nunchucks, and I'm actually kind of excited to see that match. as both teams did show quite a lot of coordination. I am expecting the USF team to have slight advantage based on the level of coordination that we saw. However, the shot calling from Lolcat Nunchucks was fairly solid. They didn't really ever let anything just go. If they lost something, most of the time they had an answer. The one time that maybe there was an exception that I can remember was the mid tower when they were trying to bait the Baron fight. They just kind of let that go. However, they did come out with the win. They did come out with the Baron, so they did get what they were trying to do. But I'm really kind of excited to see. I would tomorrow. I don't know. I would have to give the edge to USF. What do you think, Sergeant?
I think overall USF is definitely. I think they looked like the stronger team, but however, I think one of the X factors in that upcoming game is that Lolcat has Baby Powder on the team. Their jungler, which plays very consistently and very solid throughout both his games, and it definitely was a difference maker. However, I think the major factor is why I choose USF over Lolcat. Lolcat is that their bot lane on Lolcat is just didn't show up very much. Right? They played a little weak early game. They played fairly solid mid and late game, but it's that early game advantage that could be detrimental to their team.
Right. So if the other team does draft the strong late game carry, you think that potentially Lolcat could be in trouble?
Yeah, for sure. I think looks like Baby Powder plays a lot of like early game junglers and looking to get the early lead, and they may look to try to maybe pick a good maybe try to maybe ban him out, find good picks against maybe his little champ pool there.
Kind of control him a little bit more.
Yeah, because I think he's the X factor for the upcoming game, but I think look at Nunchuck just has a weaker bot lane, and the coordination on USF is just super solid. They didn't miss a beat. Looks like no weaknesses, no chinks in their armor.
For sure, it should be a really good game tomorrow between those two. I believe we'll be back tomorrow with more games.
Yeah, so we will be back tomorrow for day 2, beginning at 12 o'clock Alaska Standard Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to thank everyone for tuning in to day 1 of the North and South League of Legends tournament presented by GCI. Tomorrow we're going to be starting with winners finals, and instead of a best of 1, we're going to be switching over to a best of 3. And then we'll proceed with losers finals, and wrap up with grand finals. And it is a reminder, this is a double elimination tournament. So there is a possibility that grand finals could have a reset to a final best of 3 for the title. So we're looking at as little as 6 games tomorrow if everybody is just playing at their best, versus maybe 12 games if the matches are very, very even. So again, we would like to thank the sponsors of the UAA Esports Lounge, the Alaska Army National Guard, and Resource Data, as well as GCI for sponsoring this tournament. And we wish the players good luck tomorrow, and feel free to tune in tomorrow for the conclusion of this tournament. Have a good night.